I believe I have everything I need ready. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Intra over on the YouTube. Hello. Good morning, all. Oh, I didn't get that. Stop. Got it. Hi, Dragon's Celt. Hi, Ari. Parkers. Good morning, or good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here. Josiah, it's going to be an AC on, yes, the XX, Mrs. Lala. I love them. I saw them when I was 9 months pregnant with my son. I literally went and saw them, and 2 days later had my son. I love them so much. It sounds like they're doing another album here soon. I am so excited. They need to come tour again. So yeah, good morning, good afternoon. I appreciate you guys being here on this Wednesday. I don't know why I woke up and thought it was Thursday. It's not. It's Wednesday. So if we could tap that screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. I have the little roses up there to help put us onto the algorithm. I have a new setup. Do we like how we feeling about the new setup? I was messing with some things. Olive inspired me. Speaking of, I'll bring up my work wife. Guys, don't forget I have that 100 goal that I have every single day. If we could work on that, that would be great. The pay links for that are in my bio. This is my job. So if you guys could tip your content creators, it would be great. I do pay my bills with this. So, yeah, that would be great if we could do that. I would appreciate it much. I'm also multi-streaming, so I am over here on YouTube and Twitch. You guys can go over there and follow and subscribe. There's also memberships, super chats, bits, all the fun things over there. I have been framed, Josiah. I've been framed. So yeah, I would appreciate if we could do all of those things as we get into the outline today. If we were in Olives, you know that she was playing the confirmation hearing for Mark Wayne, baby back bitch McMullins. And she does plan to continue playing that, as far as I know, after I am done. So there is that. I'm getting clips as they come in. Also, Tulsi Gabbard is in front of the, I'm assuming whatever committee is in charge of national intelligence. Right now, your tap thingy is close to your mouth. It's not that, oh, no, it's not. It's not too bad. Then usually when I look, I can get laser eyes. See? It's great. Like that. Uh, so I'm getting those clips. I don't know that I'll play Gabbard clips today, but I am just kind of collecting them. Um, yeah, as we go. But I do have an outline set up for today anyway, and we will get into that as we go. It's a crazy thing to say. If you pay your bills, why is your personality so confrontational? Because those things have nothing to do with each other. So there's that. Don't have anything to do with each other, but sure. All right. My numbers are backwards on my goal. I don't think you guys can read. Okay, I wanted to get into, yesterday I didn't get a chance to get into, is some of the bullshit that Trump did. We talked about a lot of the serious stuff he said in his press conference and in the Oval, but we didn't get into kind of like his bullshit. This one, even though it's bullshit, is very, very serious. He's talking about a specific congressperson who has a terminal diagnosis. Now, Mike Johnson is revealing that it's a terminal diagnosis, but what Trump does is reveal the timeline. And on top of that, revealing the timeline, he also talks about the fact that he's upset because he wants this person to be able to stay in there just to have their vote. He doesn't give a fuck about this person's health at all, simply what he needs for the vote. So we're going to watch that. And why are we laughing? That's not funny. That's somebody who has a family. Even if I don't agree with their politics, that's somebody with a fucking family. And you're talking about he'd be gone by June. That's crazy. Oh shit. Sorry, YouTube. Let me fix that. I didn't do it after the music. I apologize.
Great congressman, incredible. He called to say that he was terminal, uh, really bad heart. There's nothing they can do. I said, that's bad. Number one, it was bad because I liked him. Number two, it was bad because I needed his vote. But he really said,
Too bad he's gonna die. I need his vote. That's funny. That's a funny joke. Real funny.
Mike, I'm going to last this out for the president and you. And however long I live, I mean, it looks like June is the time, but however long I live, I'm going to be voting for you. I mean, how many people are going to say that? Most of them are going to say, Mike, I'm retiring immediately. That's the end.
He's an extraordinary
But
man.
he didn't do that. It really was really impressive. And then
I mean, good for him for not retiring while he deals with a terminal illness, but like, why are you talking about his vote as if that's what's the most important versus his health as you reveal his fucking diagnosis that nobody, his timeline that nobody knew about? It's wild. This is different from Democrats who kept. So here's the thing, Hood. Who in the Democratic Party do you have proof of a Democrat politician or president or what have you coming out and saying, hey, Dianne, you can't leave because I need your vote? Or was it Dianne Feinstein's choice to stay? Which, by the way, I wouldn't agree with her staying. It wasn't because she was sick. It was the fact that she was old, and I don't know if her faculties were all there for voting. How about the GOP member who had been missing for months, hadn't come in and voted for months? They went and looked for her, and they found her in a hospice facility in Texas, I believe. Just Google it. You Google it. Find me a politician on the Democratic side who had a conversation and forced Dianne Feinstein to stay or encouraged her to stay. Yes, and Susie Wiles, you're right, Lakin. Susie Wiles, the person who was sitting next to Trump at that round table, has just been diagnosed, it came out publicly, diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. So since it's early, which women, even men, honestly, men, you need to as well. But women especially, make sure that if you're of age or even younger, if you feel, make sure you're doing your personal tests to feel for lumps. If you think you have anything funny, go to the doctor, get a mammogram done. I'm only 35. I've had a mammogram done. I had a lump. It's fine. Nothing's there. They put like a little metal piece to show that it's been looked at already for any future mammograms that I do have. But make sure that you get checked out because Susie Wiles will probably end up being okay. Because it was early. They caught it early, so they're going to be able to treat it. So make sure you guys are doing that and trying to take care of yourselves. I know our healthcare system is shit, but we all need to be taking care of ourselves. As far as I know, marble's not something that's poured like an epoxy, right? As far as I know. Well, did somebody tell Trump that? Because he says you can't walk on it while it's set and drying.
And we figured it out over the year. And you have to close it, putting new marbles in, beautiful, beautiful marbles. When you do marbles, you can't have people walking over the marble every night as it's drying and setting.
What? If he's talking about the epoxy that they might lay over it, that's one thing. But marble itself is a stone, right? It comes from a quarry. It's a stone. You don't have to wait for it to set and dry because it's a stone. So.
And going to a play. So we thought the best way, I mean, what I know best in the world is construction. The best way to do it is close it, do it properly, and reopen it, have a grand reopening. And when it's finished, it's going to be far better than it was when it was originally built.
It's a beautiful building. He didn't need to do this. This was a beautiful building. Hood, no. Show me any kind of study that shows that we have good healthcare outcomes. Show me any kind of study that our healthcare is outpacing places that have universal healthcare. Our healthcare system is bad. We have a middleman that is the corporations and the insurance companies that Republicans love. And I'm not saying there are Democrats who love them too, but they are more apt to vote for progressive policies for universal healthcare. But again, show me a study where people are trying to move to our system or where we have better outcomes, because we don't. We just don't. Donald Trump needed to sign something, and he almost had a slip here. Almost. He caught himself a little bit. Guys, also while we're here, make sure we are tapping that screen. It is 10:15 Mountain Time. And if you guys would, I would really like to get to 50,000 likes before we hit 11 a.m. Mountain Time, so at the top of the hour. So it'd be wonderful if we could get our tapping fingers going for that. I would appreciate it.
We can't have this stuff happening. Right. We have to be respected. And they left. So I'm going to sign this. We'll take some questions, but let me sign this first before I don't forget. Let's see. Before I decide not to. I don't forget. We can't have this stuff happening. Right. We have to be respected. And they left. So I'm going to sign this. We'll take some questions, but let me sign this first before I don't forget. Let's see.
He almost said before I forget. That's what almost came out of his mouth. He is slurring a lot lately. It's getting worse. And it is getting worse. I'm so sorry to the right, to MAGA, and I'm also sorry to some of you purity leftists as well. I apologize. He made the statement, and as we all know, according to MAGA, he is king. So I guess Gavin Newsom is the president.
With a low IQ person, because Gavin Newsom has admitted that he is learning disabilities.
Also, trigger warning for the amount of fucking ableism that he is about to do. If you don't know, from who he was in 2016, you should know, but here we go.
Disabilities. Honestly, I'm all for people with learning disabilities, but not for my president. I think a president should not have learning disabilities, okay? And I know it's highly controversial to say such a horrible thing. The president of the United States, Gavin Newsom, admitted that he has...
The who? Who?
It's Gavin Newsom.
Oh, I hate when I don't go back far enough.
To say such a horrible thing. The president of the United States, Gavin Newsom, admitted that he has learning disabilities, dyslexia. Mm-hmm. Everything about him is dumb.
That's ableism. To say as if you can't run for president simply because you have dyslexia is wild. But I guess he's the president now anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. I guess we don't have democracy anymore. And we're just gonna move on to the next, which is Gavin. So he should probably give up his chair in the Oval Office if we're done with that now. Where's... Okay. Pause it. Oh, I'm sorry. Messing with something I'm trying to get. Okay. And then, I didn't get clips for that today, but I have this one. Trump complaining about the fact that the Supreme Court isn't doing what he wants, even though he appointed them. I do have, there are responses. Chief Justice Roberts just did an interview recently. So there are some clips for that where he's talking about the fact that this ire and this vitriol that is being pointed towards the Supreme Court from the president is very unprofessional and it's dangerous. And that's true. So Donald Trump here, though, like I said, I don't have those clips today, but Donald Trump is complaining about the fact that he appointed these people and yet they are making decisions against him. I guess what he doesn't realize and what you guys don't realize is that regardless of who appoints them, their job is to interpret the Constitution and rules as such. He has gotten a lot of big wins with the Supreme Court and he tells you about them. But when he loses hard and he gets upset when he loses. But the problem is, regardless of the fact that you nominated who you nominated and they were confirmed, they don't do your bidding, right? And I've said this before, if you guys don't follow Cass, you should, because she covers this. I love listening to SCOTUS argumentation. I really do. And listening to the questioning, Roberts, Gorsuch, Barrett, and Kavanaugh to me are like super textualists. Like they are like purity. What does the Constitution say? How it's used in that way. So I really enjoy listening to their questions when they have cases in front of them. But here he is complaining about that they do their job.
If Barack Hussein Obama appoints a member of the Supreme Court, that member never goes against him. And they're proud about it. They say, I don't give a damn if it's good or bad. That man appointed me and I'm never going to let him down. I don't say that's right, wrong. I just say they stick together. Republicans go the opposite way. if Donald Trump appointed me, I'm going to show the world that I can be totally just, and I can be independent of Donald Trump. He's not controlling me. And I don't want to control them. I just want to have smart decisions. They gave us a decision.
And by smart decisions, he means agree with me. So yes, you do want to control them. They made a smart decision. If he could understand legalese, he would be able to understand what their argument said, but he can't.
On tariffs the other day, that won't change tariffs. I can do it a different way. I always knew I could do it a different way. This was a little quicker, a little easier, a little better.
A little unconstitutional.
But they gave it a decision that could cost this country $500 billion to pay people back, because now I have to start the tariffs all over again. Very simple. And what happens with the money I've already collected? Why didn't they say, starting from now, go the other way? $500 billion per annum.
Because that's not what this is what you guys don't understand about court, and especially about SCOTUS arguments. SCOTUS is actually very, very particular. That's not their job. Their job is not to expand their scope. Their job was to rule whether his use of the IEPA to implement tariffs was unconstitutional or not, or was constitutional or not, excuse me. That was it. That was their scope. A scope, okay, when you're looking at a specific thing. That was it. Their job was to determine if it was constitutional for him to use IEPA to initiate these tariffs. They're not going to expand that scope. Sometimes they do, and I hate when they do that, but they shouldn't. They're not going to expand that to tell you, what else you need to do. He was like, well, why didn't they write in there something about refunding these tariffs? Because that's not what was in front of them. Will it get to be in front of them? Maybe. There's a lot of companies suing. But that wasn't in front of them, so that wasn't for them to decide. Like, he does not understand how this court works.
It's so sad.
And he's very upset that he lost. Very, very upset. I have a couple more. This one, Jesus Christ. You guys will believe anything. Donald Trump said this about NATO yesterday.
Are you rethinking the United States' relationship with NATO possibly getting out?
Well, I'm disappointed in NATO that we spend trillions of dollars on NATO. Think of it, trillions over the years, many trillions of dollars. It's one of the reasons we have deficits.
We're not spending it on NATO. We're spending it on ourselves. He also doesn't understand how NATO works.
We help other countries. And when they don't help us, I mean, it's certainly something that we should think about. I don't need Congress for that decision. As you probably know, I can make that decision myself. I'd work with some very smart.
No. Is he allowed to pull out of NATO unilaterally without Congress? Is he allowed to do that, MAGA? When did Biden talk about the courts, Hood? No, he can't. He cannot. And I don't even have to listen to the rest of this video because we have the fucking law. This is 22 U.S. Code 1928F, limitation on withdrawal from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Okay? I don't assume everybody in the chat is MAGA concerned citizen. I know which ones are and which one are not, for the most part. Sometimes I get you all wrong, but no, for the most part. The president shall not suspend, terminate, denounce, or withdraw the United States from the North Atlantic Treaty, that's NATO, done at Washington, D.C., April 4th, 1949, except by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, provided that 2/3 of the senators present concur, or pursuant to an act of Congress. So no, he cannot withdraw from NATO without Congress, the Senate specifically. But he just lied to y'all's faces about the fact that he can. Wally, if I'm such an idiot, why is he going against the law? I'm an idiot? He just said that he can pull out of NATO without congressional approval. He just said that. Like, It's not the law. It's right here. This is the law. Show me where he can. Show me the law. Show me the U.S. code that allows the President of the United States to pull out of NATO without congressional approval. We are not NATO. We are a part of NATO. You guys are dumb. We are a part of, and he cannot pull that part out without Congress. Cool. All right. Let's move on to some stuff in the economy. Scaramucci. I don't know if you guys remember Scaramucci. Was he a press secretary? I can never remember. He cracks me up on Twitter, though. Yeah. He was the White House communications director at one point. Remember, they were just rolling through them at some point. Ari, that's crazy. And he was on some sort of show. But he was talking about Citizens United. Scaramucci makes me laugh because what he does on Twitter, like, I didn't like him. Obviously, I worked under the first term. He's now been speaking out against the president. But he cracks me up because whenever somebody leaves or either is fired or quits from the Trump administration, he counts it in Scaramucci's because he was one of the shortest tenures of communications director that they had. In Trump's first term, he was there for only like a few weeks, if I remember correctly. So he counts every time somebody leaves and says, like, they lasted this many Scaramucci's, and it just cracks me the fuck up. But this is him talking about Citizens United, which, again, is something that we need to end, and he's going to describe it to you and why it's such a fucking bad thing. Now, Democrats and Republicans both benefit from Citizens United. However, the only people I have heard talk about ending it are progressive Democrats, specifically people like AOC and Bernie Sanders talking about ending it. Oh my God, we gave Scaramucci a crown. Thank you, Peter.
There's something called Citizens United where since January of 2010, Bill, you're allowed to give unlimited money to the politicians. It's up 8 times the campaign donations, and 36% of the donations are coming from the top 0.1% of the people. And guess what they're doing? They're talking the politicians into not breaking them up, giving them corporate tax cuts, and et cetera. And so there's a lot of things we have to do to reform it, but you are right. But monopoly busting is something that was done in the beginning in the Renaissance era, and we're not doing it anymore because of the undue influence of these people. There's something called citizen.
And that's true. It allows them to act as individuals and flood as much money as they want into politics. And it's a fucking problem. It's a decision that Congress needs to make a law to go against it so we can bring it back to the courts and try to get rid of it. Absolutely need to do that. We're dealing with bullshit, right? Housing is expensive. According to Newsmax, housing is expensive because labor cost is going up. Labor cost is going up. That's true. And you know what? You know what they're going to do? They're going to take accountability and say there's things we need to work on, right?
My thing is like, housing is so expensive is because the labor costs so much. I mean, it's unbelievable. People don't know how to build their own homes anymore, so they're calling everybody for everything. And you have what used to be 2 or 3 service providers are now taking 5, 6.
Yeah, Lenati, I think he was on Bill Maher. I think you're right.
7, 8 contractors to do one job because people don't know basic construction. How's that going to help this?
Well, Joe Biden had so much inflation in the labor market, right, that...
Hello? It is 2026. If we are still talking about labor costs in 2022, that's wild, which is, again, the year, specifically usually June, the month that you guys lived and died on. That's not what anything looked like when Joe Biden left, but you guys can keep lying to yourselves and say it did. But apparently it's Joe Biden's fault.
Labor became so scarce, and frankly, the economy was so bad that labor costs were out of control, to your point. And
also that, if you just build your own house, like if you have the capability to, that's fucking awesome. Like if you can, from fucking foundation to, the fucking doorknobs, build your own house, that's fucking awesome. Good for you. Like seriously, good for you. Some people don't have that capability, and I wouldn't want them to, because some people might build houses not to code. Like everything that goes into filing for fucking permits, that's the word I'm looking for. It's a fucking mess. The heart me always goes to Trump's head. I don't know why. Like, I'm right here, TikTok. Give me the gifts. It would be great. I would appreciate it. So there's that. Vance was talking about gas prices. This is a lovely little cut that we can run for the midterms.
Now, here's the interesting thing. All this conversation happens where Joe Biden left us in a terrible situation, and the reason why...
He didn't. Nobody's been able to prove to me that Joe Biden left us in a terrible situation, because he left January 20th of 2025. Nobody's been able to show me that. You guys like to talk about 2022. Now they gave it to Vance.
Gas prices are where they are today is because of Donald Trump's work to get them lower, because in the Biden administration, they were crazy high.
Oh, so Donald Trump's work to get them lower, which is starting a war in Iran. That was his big plan? It's going well.
The gas prices we're seeing today are nothing like what we saw at the peak of the Biden administration, because the
That's not true.
president has set us up for energy dominance. And one of the lessons we all have to take away, frankly, every time we get involved in anything overseas, whether it's in the Middle East or anywhere else, the thing we got to take away from it is energy dominance and energy independence. Rely on our own people, rely on our own energy.
Right. Except that we don't. We import oil because it's cheaper for us to do so. Except when your president starts wars in other countries, except for that part. This was Fox Business talking about gas prices and kind of saying, like, you should expect pushback from the American people about the high oil prices. I don't know why you guys are shocked. And, like, because that's what the administration is doing right now, right? Like, oh, how dare you guys talk about the gas prices? Like, of course we're going to talk about the gas prices. They're high, and you should expect that pushback. And this is Fox saying such.
Erased all of those gains. Gasoline prices have exerted the most immediate impact felt by consumers through the magnitude of the pass-through prices to other goods, still yet unknown. So, Brian, you talk about who's operating on an economic timeline. I'm not saying we don't do this because I'm worried about the price of oil tomorrow. But I think you have to be prepared for that pushback when people have seen the price at the pump. And we've talked about how the cost of gasoline goes into every single thing that we touch and breathe. And yes, it's spring planting season and we can't get fertilizer for our guys in the Midwest. And so I think that's sort of the economic issue that people, I think, have a right to question.
And they ought to hold their government accountable. I agree with that.
Erased all of those gains. Gasoline prices have exerted the most immediate.
And they're going to hold them accountable. What are you doing about this? Let's see. And then CNN did something similar, talking about the increase. And we're going to watch that. I know it's your guys' favorite network over there on YouTube. Guys, make sure we are tapping. What are we at right now? 16,000 likes. I usually like to be at 25,000 by now. If you guys could do that, I would appreciate it. Guys, don't forget YouTube. I do have conversations with y'all, but I have them based off of factual evidence and not your feelings. So if you're going to come up and say something, I will ask you, why are you still, let's go through the scenario. I will ask you your age, your state, and who you voted for. After that, I will ask you why you are still supporting Trump. When you tell me, the first thing that you tell me, we will talk about that thing. And when I ask you for sources, I expect you to have them, not just because somebody said it, not because of a press release. Please remember that news articles, regardless of where they come from, are secondary sources, and you will need to provide me the primary source, specifically when we are talking about statistical information. Not what your feeling is, what the actual facts are. Do you still get to talk if you did not vote? No. Because then you're throwing your own voice away. But those phone lines are open, okay? 509-795-0412. The phone lines are open, but I will continue with my outline. This is CNN with the gas prices.
And this means higher gas prices for Americans. As you mentioned, the national average today, $3.72. Wolf, I remember speaking to you from a gas station in New Jersey just on Friday when the national average was $3.63. And just look at where it's come from a month ago, up over 72 cents. If you look at diesel, though, diesel fuel, that's seeing an even higher spike and a faster spike in prices, up $1.24 from when the war started just a few weeks ago. Diesel prices reaching almost $5 a gallon. And that is critical for actually a lot of drivers that I spoke to in New Jersey who say they use their trucks for their personal work vehicles. And think about all the major trucking lines that use diesel fuel. That is going to have a trickle-down effect to everyday items for Americans. Think about all the food, the perishable food that comes in on truck. You're talking about dairy, meat, produce, things that have to come in regularly. Shipping for everyday products from Amazon, from Macy's, Barnes & Noble, wherever you may be ordering something, that's coming in on a truck. So those costs going up, of course, fuel at the pump and jet fuel, which is why some economists are suggesting that airfares could rise in the next couple weeks to months. Also worth noting, where are things going right now? How high could this go? Well, according to Patrick DeHaan at Gas Buddy this morning, telling me that gas prices this week alone could rise up to another 10 cents. And there's that diesel, critical for shipping companies, rising maybe 5 to 10 cents this week alone. Of course, why?
Which I don't think I have the videos on. I had saved a couple, but I don't think I have them here. Was people talking about their diesel prices. We had talked about it a little bit for farmers specifically for the diesel prices, but there was a video on truck drivers. But don't worry, because this admin is definitely addressing your concerns about the gas prices and how high they're going up. Don't worry, Scott Bessent has got you.
And then finally, wrap it up. Got to ask this to wrap it up. Expectation of timeline on this, because with every passing day, with every passing week, now we're in the third week, markets going up, fertilizers, gas, everything. And the world is really worried about shortages and also the inflationary effect here and abroad.
Yep, Brent, can we just be clear here?
Okay.
It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. And, you know, I know the media likes to move things along. We see these headlines, and that's part of the Iranian strategy. And it's very unfortunate that because of a dislike for President Trump, not you, but a lot of mainstream media are trying to speed this up, trying to make it into some crisis that it's not.
What? It's Iranian propaganda? That the media doesn't like Trump, so they are going to tell the truth about the gas prices and the oil prices. And that's propaganda from the media. And it's not a crisis. What? Yeah, 2 weeks of an optional war. What? Keep pretzeling. You guys keep going.
And on the other side of this, if you look at longer dated crude, you look at future inflation expectations, they're both very well anchored. And you know, this will end. And I don't know how many weeks it will be, but on the other side of this, the world will be safer and we will be better supplied.
And then
on the other side, but how long? So it is a crisis for people who have to pay it, right? Let's see, we had this video, specifically, this is Arizona, but we can see similar examples all over the place about gas and groceries going up. This is reporting on that.
Anna, people across the entire state of Arizona are telling me similar thing, which is that they're starting to have to choose between gas and groceries and how exactly to spend their money. And like,
man, they're gone. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Yeah, I'm 54. I live in Colorado. I voted for Trump.
Okay, why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, just like this. I've just got one quick one. Everybody's blaming Trump for everything. So let's say the gas prices.
Sure.
Okay. And let's just pick one in particular. And the only reason I do is because it also affects other states. I'm going to pick on California.
Okay.
So if you do your research and dig a little bit, a state such as California has closed refineries starting in October of 2025. And their gas prices, they had the story about 2.5 months ago. They were talking about the gas prices at $8 a gallon, which is about 4 to 6 weeks.
Do you have an article on that?
Yeah, it's with MSNBC.
Okay.
And it's actually not an article, it was actually news.
MSNBC, what's the title?
Sure. I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
Oh,
It
no, no,
was
no.
on the
You
news.
said, no, you
Yeah,
said
it was
they're
on the,
from
yeah, it was on the
two,
news.
no,
It was
from
on the
2
news.
months ago. Right.
It was
So,
on the
okay,
news.
I
It
went
was on
over
the
this
news.
with you guys. So
It was on
2
the news.
months ago,
Yeah.
no, hold on. So
Yeah.
2 months
Yeah.
ago, there was an MSNBC story about how California's prices have already been raised to $8.
No. How they're going to be affected and get raised up to
Sure.
$8
Find me
a
that
gallon
story.
because of
Find
the
it for
close
me.
of the refinery.
Find it.
Find the story.
Yes. The story you are
It was
using to back up your claim,
it was
find
a-
it.
It was on TV, so it'd be like a video.
They,
Just Google.
you do realize that everything
Google
that they,
MSNBC.
no, you Google
Just
MSNBC.
Google-
You do it. Put
I
me
don't
on
have to.
speaker.
I saw it. I
No.
saw it with my own eyes, and
Then,
I saw
but
it.
prove it to me.
So
That
the
means
point-
nothing
but the
to
point-
me.
the
That
point-
means nothing
the
to
point-
me.
the
You
point-
could be
the
lying.
point-
You realize
the
that, right?
point.
No, the point is that
No.
we are not going to talk about something that you can't prove and continue a conversation based off of
All you have to do
information
is
that
look
might
at-
be
all
a
you have to do
lie.
is find the
That
article on
information,
TV.
you find it. Put me on speaker. You use your Google or your DuckDuckGo and you
There we
find
go.
it. You find it.
NBC.
I literally told you all this. If you are going to make claims, you better fucking back them up. I fucking went through a hypothetical scenario with you where I said that that was going to be the case. You are going to need to find me the factual information. Show me where it said that prices are going to go up to this standard.
MSNBC, the Energy Island effect. Okay, so what exactly do you want with it? The story with Phillips 66 on the Los Angeles one, or the Valera one, Valencia?
You said you had an MSNBC article about how
No, not the article on TV. On TV, there's a difference between the video and an article.
I understand that. They put stuff online from the stuff they report.
Mm-hmm.
So if they reported it on TV, it's going to be on their website as well. So you're supposed to be finding me the fact that they are selling these refineries supposedly is going to raise their prices to the point that we're seeing. So this wasn't Trump's fault. Show me that.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, according to the recent report.
What's the headline for that? What is the headline for that MSNBC article?
Of the state's cover. I've got it's right here.
Okay, read it to me. MSNBC, what's the title?
MSNBC, the major news outlet, have recently discovered the escalating refinery exodus from California, reporting on how these closures are dividing gas prices to historic prices in 2026. According to the recent reporting, the primary driver of these
what's
spikes
the
roughly
title?
17 to 20%.
No, I didn't say read. I said read me the title. MSNBC, what's the title at the
There
top?
is no title. It's a video. There's no title.
It would still have a fucking title, stupid. What is the title?
Video.
It's
What's the title of the fucking video? I don't know. Go look
You
up
said
the
it's
goddamn
MSNBC.
video, but it's
I'm
right
trying to. MSNBC. What does it say at the top before the video?
It's the MSNBC. I don't have the actual video in front of me. I'd have to Google the video.
Oh, I thought you said you're looking at a video. So what are you reading from?
I just did a quick Google search on it, so it was referring back to the two news articles that they had.
So click the news article that they had. Click the news.
There's no title.
Click the news article that they had and read it. You're reading Google AI is what you're fucking doing.
Correct. Yes, because there's no
find the
title.
little So Google AI, find the little fucking thing that has the little paper clip or it shows you where they get their sources from and bring that to me. That's what I want. Jesus Christ, you guys do not know how to fucking research.
No, you don't know how to fucking research.
Google AI will reference Google AI.
On TV.
Google AI will reference Reddit and Facebook. So I need the actual fucking article that talks about this.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes, I know. I don't know why you guys don't understand that the things you see on TV, they also report on their website. So you should be able to find this.
So should you. And you should
it's your fucking claim. It's your fucking claim.
It's not a claim. It was on goddamn TV.
Then prove it.
No different than I watch a video of you
until you prove it.
You're like, I like that.
Until you prove it. Until you prove it, it is not a fact.
Refinery price.
Thank you, Ari.
Article from UC Davis economist, NBC analyst.
And the title is what?
Frequent cited in 2025 and 2026 news cycles. It's just going over, again, it's going over several different articles.
Still waiting for this proof.
Reparation in California, because this was a story that was just over 2 months ago.
Sure, you should still be able to find it. I can find articles from 2019 showing that economists thought we were going to be in a recession. So you can find it.
But everyone, according to them, the second Trump took office, we're in a recession, but not now. Or are
No,
we?
that's not what anybody said. No, they said you guys don't.
Yeah,
You guys don't
okay.
listen to them. They said that if the tariffs continued in the way that they were after April, that yes, we would see a recession. But he tacoed on those. So again, find me this.
You guys move the goalpost.
So again, find me this. I
okay.
didn't move the goalpost. I told you the facts. So again,
Article from UC Davis. Let me see if I can find
Sorosky, can you put it?
Article.
Can you put the title in the chat for me? Is that a drop, Hector?
Hector coming to save the day.
No? Oh, okay.
Oh. Why the fuck not? Hector is crazy, Marine.
It's from, have focused on the perfect storm. Including coverage from MSNBC and other major news outlets have focused on the perfect storm hitting the California gas market. Specifically, reports from January and February of 26 highlight how the state has moved from a self-sufficient producer of energy island following the major refinery exits, which means the major refineries are leaving, and they're leaving California because of how California...
That doesn't prove to me that the prices increase. What's the title of this that you're reading? Jesus Christ. Yes, these things have titles. I would like to read along with you.
Well, again, I cannot find. There's so many.
So what are you reading from right now? What are you reading from right now?
I'm reading from Google. I'm reading from
my God,
Google right now.
Google will source Reddit and Facebook. So you need to click on the little paper clips or the little links and find what they're sourcing from. You guys do not understand how this works.
Oh, good grief. Again, it's a hypertext link. You want me to list off the entire hypertext link and read it out to you?
What is it citing?
MSNBC, California gas prices climb as refineries close. Lawmakers call for action.
He's seeing an M. It's NBC.
It is
NBC.
California gas prices
I got
climb.
Sorosky's.
And this is from just over
That's
4
what I
weeks
was
ago.
pulling up in general. You can't
And this
see.
ain't even the one I'm referring
can't
to.
tell the
This one's
difference
from
between an M
February
and an N.
13, 26. California's gas
Jesus
price was
Christ.
about $4.56 per gallon, according to AAA gas figure reported by local outlets. This increase putting upon pressure. Again, it's from MSNBC.
So you
All
think
you do
that?
is type it into fucking
So you
Google
think
and it fucking pops
you
right
think
up.
the $8 that we're seeing right now
No, you won't listen. Again, you're so fixated on just finding this article. You won't listen,
I found it. Guess what?
Which is
No
wrong
thanks
with
to
everybody
you.
in your
No
thought.
thanks
You
to
gotta
you.
look so factual for every fine detail.
Yes,
You
I
can't
know. How
just
dare
be
I use
quiet for a
facts? I
moment
know. How
and
dare I use factual
listen
information?
to
No,
anybody.
because what you are
guys
saying is
think
I
you're
am
right
blaming.
about
What you're saying, I can't believe you live in Colorado. Shocker. What I am saying is you cannot use that. You're telling me that I'm blaming Donald Trump for everything in regards to gas prices. I'm blaming him for crude oil prices right now, yes, because of the war in Iran. Now, if you're going to show me that California prices predicted to rise, again, this was almost a year ago, you would have to show me where this is because of that. If I'm blaming Donald Trump for the gas prices and you're saying it is because of the refineries, you're going to have to show me that that's why it's $8 now. What was their prediction timeline?
The prediction timeline is on February 13th, 2026, California's average gas price was around $4.56 per gallon. And this is according to AAA at that point, at that time in history on February 13th of 26.
Correct. When did we start striking Iran?
It would have been after February. It would have been right. As a matter of fact, almost right at that cusp. It was after February 13th.
I don't remember the date.
You can, if you want, I can Google the exact date.
No, I'm looking. It's fine.
The exact minute
28th. The 28th. You just cited the 13th, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so 15 days later, we struck Iran and gas prices went up, and this is California's fault. How?
No, are you ready to listen or no?
How is this California? You are trying to find something else.
I'm going to spit more facts.
You are
ready to listen
You
or
are
no?
not showing me. You're not showing me how California did this to themselves when you just reported that AAA said their gas prices were about $4, a little over $4 on February 13th, and now they have jumped up after this war with Iran. How is that their own fault?
Because you won't listen. Are you ready to listen?
You have not
for a
proven that. Go ahead. Prove that
That's
specifically what I said.
Listen.
Listen.
Linda, listen.
Prove
listen.
exactly what I just said. Prove to me that
it's
California's fault that when February 13th they had over $4 prices, all of a sudden where they are now, I don't even know where they are now, over $6, I think, is their fault, not the Iranian strike. Show me that.
Are you ready to listen, Linda? Listen, Linda, listen. Here's where it starts, because this kicks off even as early as October
54.
of 25. This is where it even begins.
You just cited February 13th of 2026 for gas prices from AAA in California being over $4. They are now higher than that in correlation with the war in Iran. How is this now their fault?
Are you ready to listen now? Because
don't bring up 2025. We are in 2026. Do not bring up 2025.
Why? Because it kicks off in 2025.
It does
That's
not.
Where it starts.
No.
Yeah, it does, because that's
You're telling me, okay, so then what's the excuse for the rest of the country? Here, actually, no. Listen, here, I'll grant you California. Look, I will grant you California. Here's that. I will concede that California selling off their refineries raised the gas prices in California. That's California's fucking fault. Fucking idiots for doing that. They actually have a law that curbs gas prices in California. Hold on. That curbs gas prices in California, and they're not using it. I agree with you. Fuck California for doing that. What's the excuse for Colorado? What's the excuse for Texas? What's the excuse for Alabama? What's the excuse for Oregon? What's the excuse for all these other states?
Who do you think California exports their oil to after it's refined?
No.
Who do you think California exports their oil to? What's your proof of it? Well, any of it.
What's the excuse in Florida? What's the excuse in Texas? They have their own refineries. What's the excuse in Texas?
Because California exports gas to people. Who do they export it to?
Texas has their own refineries. Texas has their own refineries. Texas has their own. They don't.
You're learning. Yeah, they don't send it to Texas.
So then why are Texas? You're not listening. So why are Texas's gas prices going up?
Well, the short term is because of this war.
Oh, okay.
That's part of it.
I'm using it. Thank you for the giant fucking circle that we just went into. for you to show me that, yes, the gas prices are going up because Donald Trump chose to start a war in Iran. Glad we got there. Get the fuck out of my state, you worthless GOP MAGA piece of shit. Okay. Moving on.
Guys, keep pooping, do all the wonderful things. TikTok shop, educational purposes only. Repost, add the story, do all the wonderful things. Guys, if you were just as irritated as everyone else was, you can send a 10 to those pay links, link in bio, including those on the tube, even though those on the tubes thinks that he was correct, and y'all lack critical thinking and knowing how to prove your sources.
Which, thank you, Hector, by the way, for the 10 that you said is not for a drop, but I'm using it for a drop now. I just needed to get him to that fucking circle jerk of a point. But for the quote, it's not a claim, it was on goddamn TV. Yeah, dummy, they post their stories that they have on TV on the internet. So thank you for that 10. And Marina, thank you so much for the 5 on the Green app for dealing with this cuck. That is just the way it is. So guys, we are now down to 85. So if you guys could help complete that, because that's the kind of shit I have to deal with. That's the kind of fucking ignorance I have to deal with. And I'll concede, yeah, there was some sort of spike. Thank you, actually, to all of my other friends who know how to research. Thank you, Ari. Thank you, Sorosky, for being able to pull up sources that did show that California did close some of its refineries and that they were going to see some spiking in gas. And I have no problem conceding on that, and I did. But then explain to me the other states. Guess what? Now you had to pretzel to do it. So we will move again to the outline that we're talking about people choosing between gas and grocery prices in Arizona.
Like you said, that's because groceries have skyrocketed over the last couple of weeks, starting with produce, which has been hit the hardest initially. Things like cucumbers and eggplant and carrots. And that brings us to where we are now. We're at American Discount Foods in Mesa, Arizona, where they pride themselves on keeping their prices really low for their customer base. So, I mean, take a look at these numbers. We're talking 69 cents. 79 cents, 99 cents, and this is what keeps customers coming back. But the owners tell us in just the last couple of weeks, their customer base has nearly doubled. People looking for these prices. 65 cents for bananas. I mean, we're just not seeing this at regular grocery stores because of this war in Iran and what it has caused here at home. Again, the owners take this responsibility
Chicky, she's touching the food because she's a white woman.
very seriously for their customers, but it's not something they're going to be able to keep up forever. Take a listen.
Some people, a store like this is really survival, right? For others, it's going to make those dollars go further. They can have maybe some more luxury items than what they normally would when they see those prices go up.
Speaking of Arizona, who was it? Let me go up. Mayhem Kelly, thank you, made a good point, and I looked it up to verify that, yeah, a majority of the oil that California sends out actually goes to Arizona and Nevada. So Texas, Colorado, New York, all the other gas prices going up as well.
Either at the fuel stations or in the grocery store, they don't have options to just opt out. And so trying to save people money on their groceries is a way we can help out and, have a great thriving business in the process.
Anna, some context here. Cost of living has gone up significantly over the last year. 2 to 2.5% for groceries, 3 for housing, 6 for electricity, 10 to 11% for natural gas. And that is not counting the last couple of weeks. Things have gotten really tough for Americans and their wallets. Anna?
So it's getting expensive. And that is Donald Trump's fault. And he campaigned on bringing it down, but he didn't. He lied to you. Juicy Juice Godfrey, thank you for the $1 on the Green app. Yeah, I think you still have my kick from last week. I absolutely do. I absolutely have your kick from last week. Still, I have it written down. It's actually right here in front of me. So thank you for that. Brings us down to 84. A nice little even number for me. Guys, don't forget you can torture me with decimal points as well.
Can you pin my comment?
What happened?
Can you pin my comment in tube?
In tubes. Eek. I had it off I didn't realize that was my fault.
Yeah, you good. Thank you.
I fixed it, but that was my fault. I had it off.
Oh, I can do that now? Okay, cool. Cool.
Okay. But in other bad news, saw this morning. Wholesale prices rose 0.7% in February, much more than expected, and up 3.4% annually. Let's go down here. Wholesale prices rose sharply in February, providing another sign that inflation continues to percolate even aside from rising CNBC, fuck off. From rising energy costs. The Producer Price Index, PPI, a measure of pipeline costs that producers receive for their products, increased a seasonally adjusted 0.7% on the month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Wednesday. Excluding volatile food and energy costs, the so-called core PPI increased 0.5%. Economists surveyed by Dow Jones had been looking for increases of 0.3% for both measures. For the all items index, prices rose faster than the 0.5% pace in January. However, the core increase was less than the 0.8% for the prior month. On a 12-month basis, headline PPI inflation was at 3.4%, the most since February 2025, while core was at 3.9%, according to the BLS. The Federal Reserve targets inflation at 2%. Stock market futures slipped following the report, while Treasury yields were higher. Futures traders pushed out the next Fed interest rate cut until at least December. The surge in PPI came due in large part to a 0.5% increase in services costs, something the Fed would not welcome. Policymakers have attributed much of the recent run-up in inflation to tariffs, which would not show up as much on the services end. Portfolio management fees, a key driver for services costs within the PPI measurement, were up 1% in February. Similarly, prices for securities brokerage, dealing, investment advice, and related services accelerated 4.2%. Goods prices rose 1.1% on the month. Food prices rose 2.4%, while energy was up 2.3%. Within food, the index for fresh and dry vegetables soared 48.9%. The report suggests that pipeline inflation measures remain persistent, particularly on the services side, complicating the Fed's path as it weighs how long to keep interest rates elevated. The report comes with inflation worries accelerating amid the fighting in the Middle East. The U.S. and Israel continued to strike at targets in Iran, causing energy prices to surge. Oil has been trading around $100 a barrel, up more than 70% year to date as the conflict has proceeded. None of the inflation data so far has captured the price increases associated with the war, but it has indicated that even before the attacks, inflation was a problem. A report last week indicated that consumer prices rose at 2.4% rate in February. Separately, the Commerce Department said its main inflation gauge, which the Fed uses as its forecasting tool, was at 3.1% for core and 2.8% for headline, which I was going to show you real quick. That's how I type it in. And I'll show you. Soroski, avert your eyes. Avert your eyes, Soroski. Look at that. That looks good, don't it? That looks real nice. Good job.
Red. Red. Red.
And then I do have a clip from the video from that article that I have that I'll play for you as well.
What does that tell you? I mean, I understand the short term, we're taking the Fed activity out from the 2-year, and that's why you see those spreads kind of get compressed. The long end, does that tell you anything about how people are seeing the health of the economy down the road, or is it something else?
I do think that there is part of that reflected in this as well. It's almost the worst of both worlds. I guess stagflation would come close to describing the situation. We're probably not going to see Fed easing, and the long end, well, part of it is weakness. We've had a spat of some fairly weak numbers, and then you put in the fact that we are on the PCE, 3% handle.
Jake, what does that even mean? Can you sound like an AI robot? What's wrong with you? You don't even sound like American citizen that loves USA. What? I actually love it so much I want to fix it. What? I don't sound like AI? Okay.
His last comment beforehand was a little iffy, but
If you're not happy with the USA, get out. No, I fix it, Jake. I don't throw the whole house out because a sink is leaking. I fix it. I stay and I fix it because I love it so much.
On some of the Fed's favorite metrics, as the Wall Street Journal pointed out today, it would be very difficult, even for some of the recent appointees, to think that easing could even be on the menu at this or even very close subsequent meetings down the road.
Which means the Fed's not going to lower their rates, not with stagflation, which is the closest that, again, we can call it right now.
Apparently they're telling you to go home, poor wannabe Trumpist.
Who's saying that?
Stay cool.
Stay cool.
I don't know who they're telling to go home. You are home.
I am home. I'm currently in my house. Thank you, Chicky, for the 69 cents. AO. Insight. That erection. I appreciate you torturing me with it. And Chicky said, nice.
Nice.
Noise. Thank you for that. That brings us to, yes, I did use my calculator. That brings us to 83.31. Thank you for the decimal points. You kill me. You're really killing me.
Killing me, Fox.
Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for? Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
North Carolina, 40. I voted for President Donald J. Trump.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
I'm sorry.
Why are you still supporting Trump?
Why wouldn't I? That's what I voted for.
What name something you support that he's doing?
Him being in the president for a second term. I mean, it's not rocket science.
What policy of his do you support?
Most of them.
Okay, name one.
Probably all of them.
Name one.
You've heard them all. That you've heard all his policies.
So
you
name one.
Talk about Trump every day.
Name one of
you
them.
Know them.
I'm not going to tell you what they are because I don't think you know. I don't think you know.
Well, even if I don't know, I still support him.
That's crazy. You just support him. You just support him. Why then? If you don't know his policies.
Well, I'm an American. I don't have to have a reason. It's my right to vote and choose him, and I did. I don't have to.
You just had
your
what
feelings.
did you close your eyes and you just filled in whatever bubble? You had no particular reason why you chose him over Kamala.
I made sure my black ass voted for Trump.
Why?
I made sure.
Why?
Why not? Who else was
you
to
guys
choose
are
from?
children. You're children. You are
I'm a
40.
child.
You are
I'm a
40
child.
fucking years old. You are 40
Yes,
fucking
and I
years
have
old.
a job.
Take
how old are you? And you sit on your ass.
So take
and you sit on your ass and
accountability.
cry about Trump every day.
So take accountability.
You have a job because of Trump. You're making money because of Trump. You talk about Trump every day, and you're making money because of Trump.
So take accountability for why you voted for him.
No, you take accountability for getting off your ass and go fixing America like you said you was.
This is my job.
Get off your ass, stop crying, and go fix America, right?
Oh, we are. We flipped.
America's broke, right?
We flipped 20% of your seats last year.
No. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when Trump comes to office? Are you gonna sit on your ass every day in front of a camera, begging for money, drinking out of your mug?
Could you imagine not being able to defend what you voted for?
Now.
Can you imagine?
I'm not letting you have your way more.
Can you imagine not being able to defend what you voted for?
Can you imagine getting off your ass and going to work?
This is work.
Can you imagine stop begging people for money?
This is work.
Take your little privileged white ass to work.
This is
Only
work.
a privileged white person can sit right there.
This is
can
work.
sit right there and be privileged and talk about Trump every day.
What about
That's
Hassan
some good white
Piker?
privilege.
Hassan
I wish
Piker
my
does
black
this
ass
too.
had that.
Hassan
I wish
Piker
I could
does
sit
this
on my
too.
ass every day and talk about Trump and beg for
That's
money.
what Tim Pool does. That's what Benny Johnson
No.
does as well.
Give me.
That's what Candace
Take your
Owen
white ass to
does.
work
That's what Ben
and stop
Shapiro
begging.
does.
Get
They
your
all do
white
this every
privilege
day
off of
too.
YouTube. Get your white privilege off of YouTube. Go get some money and stop begging us. Stop crying about Trump every day.
Imagine
He's the president.
not being able
There's
to
nothing
defend your
you can
man.
do.
Imagine.
I don't have to.
I know you don't. Your microphone. I'm not going to wait for a kick because his microphone is atrocious. But seeing as with my white privilege sitting on my ass, Nemesis, thank you so much for the 5-0 on the Green app for keep up the great job. Hope this helps. Thanks. It helps immensely. Thank you so much. This is a job. I have to fucking pay taxes on this. I have to file taxes on this. It is a job. You guys don't care when Tim Pool or Benny Johnson or Alex Jones or Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro or Fresh and Fit. You don't care when they do it. But you care when I do it because I asked you a simple question, which is why are you still supporting him? And apparently you can't defend that. Interesting. Let me do my mathy math.
Also, not begging money from Trump supporters because y'all ain't got none.
Yeah, I wasn't begging from y'all. I'm begging from my supporters. I'm grifting. Fuck off. I mean what I say. I stand 10 toes down in who I fucking voted for. I don't debate the election because she lost. But I'm asking you why you're still supporting him today. And you can't seem to back that up. Sounds like a you problem.
Renati and your husband are going at it with each other with Trunklas in the chat.
Lenati's gonna win.
I know she is. I'm just saying.
Let's see, what did I want to do with this? Did I keep... Yes. Okay.
Guys, there's 174 people over here on the TikTok streets. Can we repost? Can we add to story? We're only at 14 shares. We can bump this up. If you hold the screen down, you'll have at least 50 people to share this live to. Go ahead and share it to everyone you know, and their mom, and their uncle, cousin, and their husbands, and their daddy, sister, cousins.
Husband's crazy.
Make sure you add it to your story. Make sure you guys are doing all the engagement, everything you can do. If you are over on the tubes, just keep commenting. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing over on the Witch app. I don't know how that works yet. But make sure you guys are also supporting monetarily. Links are in the bio. Do all the wonderful things.
Thank you for
Not
calling the
Alabama
stream. Can I get your
husband.
age, state, and who you voted for?
Yeah, I'm 35. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I voted for Trump.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
I guess a better question is, why do you not support Trump?
I'm not doing that. It's a simple fucking question. Defend your fucking man. Why? I'll tell you so that you guys never have to fucking ask me again, but you don't listen, so you're gonna. I do not support Trump because I do not think anything that he has done in his second term is beneficial. Okay? You ready to answer the question now?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I guess I thought there was a preamble. But no, I say I support Trump because I support his policies.
Which
more
one?
than
Name
the
one, we can
previous,
talk about
regime's policies. Is that fair?
Which one? Name a policy, we can talk about it.
Okay, well, so you seem to want direct answers. I support what we're doing in Iran right now. I support
Why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because Iran specifically has an anti-Western policy, like verbatim. I also
Sure.
support
So
our
does North Korea.
deportation policy.
Should we start striking North Korea? They do as well.
Well, look at what North Korea has that we were trying to stop Iran from having.
Oh, so you're scared.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
No,
You're scared of
I'm
North
saying
Korea.
that-
Point, by the way, that they did not have nuclear weapons. I'm glad we could get to that consensus.
have nuclear weapons.
They didn't.
No, I'm saying, why does Iran not have nuclear weapons?
Well, I don't know
Specifically
because
because of our
apparently, well,
intervention.
according to Donald Trump, in July of 2025, we obliterated it. But then just about a week ago, he held a press conference where he said that that they were 2 weeks from having one.
Are you familiar with Stuxnet?
No.
No?
No, what is that?
Okay, so Stuxnet was the original plan that we used to get rid of Iran's nuclear program decades ago. Essentially, it was just a very clever computer program that we put onto a USB stick and had it infiltrate their structure when they were getting close to making nukes, and it caused their centrifuges to go into
Nobody
basic
has
explosion
taken
mode.
accountability for that. The United States nor Israel has openly admitted responsibility.
So you do know what Stuxnet is.
No, I look things up when I hear them.
Okay, well, the world knows that it was the United
No,
States and
that's
Israel.
just conspiracy. You have no proof that the United
No,
States
because
was a
it was
part
a
of that.
0 day. It was a zero, ma'am. It was a 0 day
No.
exploit based on the Windows operating system that
That
was
doesn't prove that it was from the United States. The United States has not taken responsibility for that. So again, did Donald Trump lie then when he said that we obliterated it in July of 2025, or did he lie a week ago when he said they were 2 weeks away from having a nuke? Which one was it?
Do you think it's possible for things to be rebuilt?
It's possible, but he said they were 2 weeks away. They built it within that amount of time. It hadn't even been a whole year. I thought we obliterated it
So-
completely.
So again, you apparently did about 1 second of research on Stuxnet. That was the same case back
Again,
when
you're
we
going
did
to go
the thing.
back to the point that you were talking about with nuclear weapons. We're not talking about a computer program that the United States has not taken credibility for, nor has Israel. And you are going to talk about the fact that Donald Trump said we completely obliterated their nuclear stockpile and ability to enrich in 2025, July of 2025, and less than a year later said that they were 2 weeks away from having a nuclear weapon. Did he lie then, or did he lie now?
Do you think that it is possible to have not full information on what a sovereign nation does underground by
Oh,
itself?
so Donald Trump had the wrong information.
Possibly incorrect information.
Possibly incorrect information. Based on what?
I would
Did
say
he,
that-
has
I would
he
say
ever
that
come
they
out and said
have-
that? That he was given the wrong
Does that-
information about that obliteration?
I would say that to his knowledge at the time that we did in fact obliterate their capability to make nuclear weapons.
Oh.
The reason that this is pretty accurate is because we know that they don't have nuclear weapons. And so over the last 30 or 40 years, whether you want to say it was the United States or
Oh my
Israel,
God, if he brings up Stuxnet one more fucking time, I'm going to lose it. Absolutely not. Again, we argued this for months because when he came out and said it was obliterated, which by the way, they are still saying that, Tulsi Gabbard came out and said, no, it wasn't. They moved it. We didn't obliterate it. We did hit stuff on the ground, but they moved it. And he was like, no, she's wrong. And she came out later, tail tucked between her legs and said, oh, okay. And you guys argued. It was obliterated. It was obliterated. Yes, I hung up. Because I told you not to talk about that. We are talking about something else. We're not talking about Stuxnet. We are talking about their nuclear capabilities. And now you're trying to ascertain that he was given incorrect information or maybe just didn't have all the information at the time. The problem with that is that he is still saying we obliterated it in July. At the same time, he talks out of both sides of his mouth. We obliterated it in July, but also they were going to have a nuclear weapon. It cannot be both. That's the problem. And so, no, we're not going to have those conversations that you want to have when we're talking about nuclear capability. Hi, Ari.
And I ran so far away.
Okay, but like the sticker that you have in the mod chat of you guys as the flock of seagulls, you and Polly as flock of seagulls, cracks me up.
Shit. I blame Feisty. Is it a grid for everyone or is it just me?
A grid? What do you mean? Oh my gosh, thank you.
The layout.
No.
I came up and now I see the grid and I don't see you on the big screen.
Oh, I don't know. Hold on, let me bring up my backup account and see what it looks like when I bring. No, still looks normal. I don't know.
It's just me. Okay.
It's just me.
All right, I'm also gonna run so far away.
Running. And the bass keeps running. All right. So they voted. What was this? Yesterday. I'm just going to show the image of it because I don't need the rest of it. Puzzle piece. Okay. Voted yesterday. Ugh, where'd it go? There it goes. They voted yesterday to open debate of the Save America Act on the floor. So this was that vote, 51-48, to allow for debate of the Save America Act. I did stream some of it live yesterday. So there was that. This one. And this is a... Where did I want to go with this? Yeah, okay. So this was a Fox News analyst talking about polling and way of requiring photo ID. Again, I've said I'm not against voter ID. I never have been against photo ID. What I am against is charging for it. Like I said, even if you make the specific documents that you need for voter ID free during that specific amount of time, that would be fine. Lisa Murkowski, did they actually vote last night?
They did. Tillis and here, I'll send you the video.
Please.
Tillis and Murkowski voted with the Democrats.
The procedural vote to allow it to come on the floor, Audie? Is that the one? Because it gets voted on multiple times before, like the vote. Okay, the procedural vote to allow it on the floor. I knew they weren't going to have the votes for this. But anyway, this is a Fox commentator talking about, yes, the polling on this. And like I've said, as long as we make it free, I really don't have a fucking problem. But that's not what they're doing. This is a voter repression bill. That is a suppression bill. That's what this is. But he's going to talk about a specific different bill that was the Freedom to Vote Act. This was sponsored by Amy Klobuchar. I'll bring it up in just a second after this video, and saying how every Democrat voted for this, but they won't vote for the Save America Act. Why? Because they're vastly different, but he's going to be disingenuous about that. It's okay. Tillis has just said he won't vote for it. Of course he won't.
Democrat. And how do you talk about that? How do you campaign about that?
Yeah, I think Democrats have missed the messaging war on this when we talk about voter ID. Democrats passed a bill 5 years ago unanimously saying we want voter ID in the Freedom to Vote Act, and Republicans objected at it at the time, saying we didn't want a federal takeover elections. You're seeing those same Democrats now say we don't want this Republican federal takeover of elections. We passed.
No, the difference was, and I can show you, is that in Amy Klobuchar's bill, it was going to expand access to voting, whereas their bill suppresses access, makes it harder to get access to voting, and that for U.S. citizens, and that's a problem. Tyler from Seattle, who I hung up on. Yeah, because you don't stay on track for the questions that I'm asking you and you want to talk about conspiracy theory shit, you can go watch Alex Jones for that. By the way, he was just on Tim Pool's drunk and crying because he's going to have to stop InfoWars. Why? Because he should have had to, because he no longer owns the rights to it after the disgusting shit he said about the parents of Sandy Hook victims, and they own his fucking company now. So cry harder, tinfoil bitches.
Passed a bill unanimously.
Alex Jones.
I said oop.
Oh, oop. I thought you said whoop.
Not an owl.
Sometimes I am, though.
Whoop.
Near unanimously, with every Democrat in my home state of South Carolina, including voter ID, extended 2 weeks of early voting. That's the path forward. When you see the president out there saying this is how we're going to win the midterms if we pass this, I don't think that does the rhetoric any help in terms of actually getting that past the goal line, because, again, we all want secure elections. But when the president couches it in, this is how Republicans are going to win if we do this, I don't think he does himself any favors in the messaging.
So even then, he's also critiquing Trump's messaging, right? Trump's messaging on the Save America Act isn't necessarily about, and even the Republicans, their messaging is not about free elections, free and fair elections. It's not. That's not what they talk about. What they talk about is that 80% of the people want this, which, again, 80% of the people in a small poll about voter ID specifically, not all the ins and outs that are going into it. Hi, Mothra. And so what he's critiquing is the rhetoric and saying, we need this to win. So you're saying that without it, you can't. Your messaging on your platform is so bad that without this bill, you can't win. And he's critiquing that messaging. And he's a Republican. I will show this bill real quick if you guys want to look it up. This was introduced in 2023. This was introduced by Amy Klobuchar in Minnesota. It was the Freedom to Vote Act, and you can read it. Again, there's PDF forms if you want. There's usually actions. There wasn't much action on this. It was read twice and referred to Committee on Rules and Administration, where it died. It died in committee. But you can read through it. It is about 600 pages long, so you can also Control F, Command F, whatever computer you are on, and you can read into what they were trying to expand on it. But I did have, luckily, the Brennan Center also has, again, all of this stuff ends up in my live outline in my Discord. Thank you, by the way, Purple Mustaches. Yes, guys, please keep tapping that screen. We have not hit 50,000 likes, and it's almost 11:30. At the most, I would really like to hit at least 75,000 likes before I end. I usually try to hit 100,000, but we just can't seem to get there today. So if we could keep tapping that screen, I would really, really appreciate it. But the Brennan Center does a breakdown of the Freedom to Vote Act, and specifically about, again, key provisions, expanding access to the ballot, early voting. The bill requires all 50 states to offer early voting periods for at least 2 weeks prior to Election Day. That makes it easier for people to take off work instead of having to try to figure out that day, right? Mail voting creates a national standard permitting no excuse vote by mail for every eligible voter. States would be required to permit voters to apply for absentee ballots online and prohibited from imposing onerous requirements like requiring mail ballots to be notarized, like they do in Oklahoma. Apart from returning ballots by mail, the bill would also allow voters to return mail-in ballots in person to a polling place or to a drop box. That's how we do it here. The bill also includes safeguards to ensure fair resolution of discrepancies between a voter's signature on a mail ballot and their signature on file with election authorities. Any mail ballot postmarked on Election Day that arrives within 7 days would need to be counted, and ballots could not be discarded for minor errors like failing to use an outer security envelope. That last one I actually am not sure that I agree with, to be honest. I think you probably need to use your security envelope. If you didn't mail it in your security envelope, what are you doing? I actually don't know that I agree with that. Protection for individuals with disabilities, voter validation. So again, it goes through this entirety, and there's things you can pick apart. Automatic voter registration. What would that be? Eligible voters are automatically registered to vote when they provide information to a participating government agency unless they opt out. I don't know that I agree with that. Because if people don't know, see, like I can critique this. Again, this was a Democrat who proposed this. I don't know if I agree with that. Personally, again, this is my opinion. Because if people don't, there's a lot of people who don't know when they get signed up for things. So if you are automatically signed up to register to vote and you don't know, but you're getting sent ballots that you don't know about and somebody takes them, which again, voter fraud 0.0001%, but like I don't know that I agree with that. I think it's something you should have to opt into versus opting out on. I don't know if I agree with that. Same-day voter registration, online voter registration, protections against unlawful voter purges. So it sounds like it was a decent bill. There could have been some stuff that needed to be worked on in the language, and I don't have any issue with that. The Brennan Center, I don't have it on here, but the Brennan Center also had a breakdown of the Save America Act. I don't know why I didn't link it. The Save America Act as well, and I think that is important. Let's go to Ron Johnson talking about how they are purposefully, I talked about this with Caroline Levitt, how they're purposefully throwing things that have nothing to do with voting into this bill. It has nothing to do with voting, and they're going to throw it in here. Why? To rage bait y'all. To rage bait y'all about issues that do not affect your dinner table. It has nothing to do with voting, and I don't understand why it's necessary.
We're going to offer thoughtful amendments, things that the American people overwhelmingly agree with, and make Democrats take vote after vote after vote. And again, these things will not be controversial. These will be things like voter ID, like proof of citizenship. We'll probably even throw in some non-election related items like biological males shouldn't be competing against our little girls, and we shouldn't be mutilating little children.
Which, by the way, he phrases it that way on purpose. Biological males, in your head, you're going to think of grown adults should not be playing against our little girls. It is all on purpose to get you to clutch your pearls and think of grown men, grown people playing against children, and that's not what's happening at all. But also, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? What does this have to do with voting? Nothing. It's already not allowed. If you go into any committee, you're not allowed. They have strict rules about who can play in what sport when. That's what the committees are for. You have the Olympic Committee, you have the colleges, like they all do that. It has nothing to do with voting. They are throwing it in there. I agree that both sides can do that in certain bills, Danny. I absolutely agree. I'm talking about this bill specifically, though, but I agree with you. They can throw shit. That's the pork that we talk about, right? They can throw shit in bills that has no fucking point in being in there. But in this bill particularly, I'm criticizing the Republicans for it. They say it's so important to get this passed, but they're throwing in shit. I am a parent. I have 2 kids. They're throwing this shit in there to rage bait you because you don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Keep men out of children's dressing rooms, though? Yeah. You know, like Donald Trump. Fucking weird. Doesn't make any sense. So we've talked about this before, that the Heritage Foundation specifically, the right-wing organization that is the Heritage Foundation, has a website that you can go to and has a drop-down menu where you can find all of the instances of voter fraud, whether it's non-citizens or citizens committing voter fraud. You can do drop-down menus and find the specific incidences. It is not some widespread thing that is affecting elections. It's still happening, and I think, unfortunately, fraud within any kind of system, somebody's always going to find a way to commit fraud. It sucks, and we should do everything we can to go against it, but they're going to continue to do it. But it is not such a widespread problem that makes this an issue. And that's from the Heritage Foundation website themselves. But this is Paul Weyrich. He is the co-founder of the Heritage Foundation. This is him talking about the voting populace and how he doesn't want everybody to vote and they want it to go down. Why? That's why Donald Trump is using this rhetoric and saying this is the only way we win, is because of the fact it is the only way we win, or they win, excuse me. The only way that Republicans win is to suppress the vote of marginalized communities. And this is Paul Weyrich, the co-founder of Heritage Foundation.
They want everybody to vote. I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
Our power goes up as the populace goes down. They don't want people voting because they know that that's the only way that they can win. They're very, very fucking aware of this. And John Thune is going to admit this as well. So John Thune is going to be asked about the filibuster specifically, and he's going to admit that the filibuster, the process of using it, right? Oh, that's cool. I just came out of the frame. That was pretty cool looking. He's going to admit that it helped Republicans more than it has helped Democrats. that they use it to stop progressive policy from the Democrats more so than it does on the opposite end. Yeah, Peter Thiel has said something similar.
And frankly,
do it again.
I mean, I think most of, I can't speak for all of my colleagues, but a lot of our colleagues believe that many of the things that Democrats want to do, and when they tried to nuke the filibuster a couple of years ago, were all things that we don't want to have our fingerprints on. Whether that's adding D.C. and Puerto Rico as states or expanding the Supreme Court. You can go right down the laundry list of nationalizing elections. You can go right down the laundry list of things that I think there are a lot of myself and my colleagues have grave concerns about if the Democrats ever had that power handed to them. So it's throughout history, it's protected Republicans and conservative priorities and principles a lot more often than it's protected Democrats.
It has protected Republican policy and principle a lot more than it has protected Democrats. Okay. I did not turn my phone line back on. Tyler, I hung up on you because you couldn't stay on point. I said that. We're not going to talk about conspiracy theory. I don't know why that's so difficult for you to understand. We're not going to do it. So stop calling me or I'll block your number. Okay, thanks. Yeah, DEI for Republicans, exactly. Exactly that. And then this I just wanted to bring up just so to show you guys that we have it. It exists. This one was a report that was done in 2018. Election security in all 50 states. So it goes into like a big summary or whatever. That wasn't the thing I wanted. It was... where was it? The state grades, this part. So if you go down, it's going to give you all the different states and how they function. I was looking at it because I was looking up Oklahoma yesterday when Senator Lankford was talking about it. So then you can click on them, right? And it's going to give you a complete breakdown. This is 245 pages. So they went through Center for American Progress. And they went through and did a breakdown of how they work, what possible flaws could be in their voting systems. And I just think that it's a pretty good thing to be looking at. What their voting rules look like in each state, how difficult they are, and what have you. Not bad. Answer, did we kill 175 innocent girls? It wasn't total. It was over 170 people total. I think of the ones that were children, it was somewhere around 160. But yes, we did. Let's look at this polling real quick. Guys, I've got him, and he's back, and he's excited again. He shaved his beard. He drank a Red Bull. Our baby boy is back, and we do love that. Guys, thank you for hitting 48,000 likes over here on TikTok. I appreciate it. Keep doing that. I love you guys so much. I have $33.31 left in my goal, so if you guys could knock that out, the pay links are in my bio. I would love it if we could knock that out for the day. Prove to these little cucks that this is my job, and I do get paid for it. So, here's our lovely baby boy, Harry Enton. Yes, Chicky, he's back. Look, he's already on the floor. He's already ready. He shaved, he's drank a Red Bull, and he's going to talk about the popularity of the war in Iran, specifically with other countries that Donald Trump is begging to want to join and how unpopular it is.
It's really simple, Mr. Berman. It's really simple. The people in those countries hate the U.S. military action in Iran. What are we talking about here? Okay, net approval rating, U.S. military.
He's back.
Action in Iran. In Canada, way underwater, minus 27 points. You think that's low? Thank you, Mr. Berman. You think that's low? Take a look here in Japan. Negative 73 points. My goodness gracious. Way down there. How about in the UK?
Now remember, before you guys freak out when we talk about polling is going to be one small subset of the population, a sample, and he sources this. Again, I know you guys freak out about CNN, but he sources it. He does an aggregate, so Enton's aggregate, where he pulls all of them together, right, like an average. You have YouGov, and you have Asahi Shimbun, so which I'm going to guess is probably Japan's polling. Small sample size, representative of a whole. Find me polling that says otherwise. I would like to see it.
We're talking about 34 points underwater. Key U.S. allies, the people in those countries absolutely despise the U.S. military action in Iran. No wonder the leaders in those countries are let's just say, a little apprehensive about helping out the U.S.
So compare this to the environment in 2003, and I'm picking that point because that was the beginning of the U.S. intervention war in Iraq. How did people in these countries feel at the beginning of that war compared to now?
Okay, so you see these numbers are quite low. They weren't always this low when it came to U.S. military action in the Middle East, because take a look at this situation. Okay, shift in net approval rating, U.S. military action in Iran now versus in Iraq in 2003. In Canada, way down. We're talking down, get this, 27 points. How about in Japan? Down way down there, down 45 points. How about in the UK? And of course, there was UK involvement in that particular war. Look at that, down 48 points. So what we're seeing is a massive...
Neil, it's not propaganda, it's a poll. It's not propaganda. It is a poll that was taken for these countries.
Massive shifts when it comes to how the people, our allies, people in those countries are viewing the U.S. military action in the Middle East. Far less popular this time around. No wonder the leaders in those countries want pretty much absolutely nothing to do with this conflict, because they know there are big electoral consequences if they do, and not good electoral consequences.
What's happening overall with views of America abroad?
Yeah, okay, so you see these numbers, you see these shifts down in terms of how our allies or folks in those countries view U.S. military action in the Middle East. You see how unpopular it is this time around. Canada, Japan, the UK. And this is just part of a larger picture, Mr. Berman. A larger picture. Favorable view of the U.S. in 2025 versus 2024, of course. Donald Trump being the president in 2025, Joe Biden being the president.
Neil, how am I manipulating the truth by showing pixelated Harry Enton sourcing Pew Research on a poll about countries' residents being asked this question? How am I doing that? He's just giving you the information. Just ignore that it's CNN at all. It is Harry Enton sourcing his polling. You guys are so dumb.
The United States in 2024. Look at this. Favorable view of the U.S. down 79% of 24 countries' residents asked. The bottom line is this. The folks...
Him in the polls. Find me, Neil, find me a poll. I should get a tinfoil hat. Find me a polling that says the opposite. I would like to see it. Find Rasmussen, find Fox News, find something else. I have put Fox News before, haunted. Guess what? Fox News has the same thing. Not popular. I've put on Fox News polling before. Show me polling that says the opposite.
Overseas are far less likely to view the U.S. favorably, and those chickens, they're coming home to roost in this situation, as there's very little support abroad for the U.S. military action in Iran.
And they have to worry about politics at home, these leaders do. Harriet, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Glad to see our baby boy back, though. I am happy about that. Thank you for waiting till the video was over. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for?
Hi, my name is Gavin. I'm 23, and I have no clue.
You have no clue who you voted for?
Oh, I thought you said, who are you voting for? I said I voted for Trump, but I voted for Trump this last election.
What state did you vote in?
Minnesota.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
I don't.
What changed for you?
Well, if you have to pick between, a dick and an asshole, I pick the asshole, but I'd still rather,
No, that's
if I had a third choice, I'd pick the third choice.
Sure, that's why you voted for him. I don't care about that. He won now. You're not supporting him anymore, correct?
Correct.
Okay, why? What changed for you?
I just don't think there's been enough transparency. I feel like there's a lot of things. Because I voted for him. I'm poor. I work my ass off.
Sure.
I'm looking for some of these tax breaks. Some of, so he's going to give stimulus. We have the Epstein files. He's just redacted a ton of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
No new foreign wars. He started like 2. It's just a lot of things. It's just a lot of things where he said, we're going to do this, and it's been the opposite. So it's like I don't feel he's been as transparent, and he hasn't fulfilled promises like he did in 2016. If that makes sense.
Sure, no, that's fair.
I feel like that's why I re-voted for him. I felt he did a really good job the first time around, and I thought he was going to do it again. And
Based
It's
on
been the
what?
complete
What
opposite.
did he do the first time around that you thought was going to be good?
First time around, I mean, he did fix inflation quite a bit. I mean, prices came down. I was spending the lowest on gas, lowest on groceries.
No, gas.
My rent was cheaper.
Yeah, prices continue to go up. You know that Obama's prices were lower than Trump's, and Bush Jr.'s prices were lower than
Absolutely.
Obama's, and Bill Clinton's prices were lower than Bush.
Basic economics.
Sure.
It's
So
going
what
to
did
keep
he
rising
do?
and rising.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what did he do to affect prices? Because actually, what we saw was prices go up because of the tariffs that he instituted on China, where we actually had to do a farmer bailout because of his tariffs the first time around.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is not everybody wants to pay those tariffs. So of course, there's going to be a back and forth battle on. Oh, well, you're going to pay this if you make us pay that. That's kind of what's happened.
Who pays a tariff?
What's that?
Who pays a tariff?
We do.
Right. Which Donald Trump also lied about.
We do.
Yeah.
Because we're the cattle. We're the ones that buy this shit. We're the ones that influence the economy. The fucking elite aren't doing that.
Sure,
we're the
but
ones that go to Walmart and buy shit. We're the ones paying those tariffs.
What rent were you paying? What year were you starting to pay rent?
God, I don't know, like 3 years ago.
Like 3 years ago. So 2023 under the Biden administration is when you started paying rent. You just said under Trump's first term your rent was lower. You would have been 17 when he took office.
Not right. I was talking about other things. I used rent as an example for now, but
no.
Other things like groceries and what's that?
So, yes, but I'm trying to get a timeline for you because again, you were 17 when he took office the first time around.
Sure.
And so, where are we? Like, I don't understand where you're getting. Like, prices were lower before Biden, of course, because, like you said, basic economics, prices tend to keep increasing. That is just something that they do. But again, I'm still looking for this benefit that he gave to us in his first term, and you haven't named one yet. That he contributed to prices being lower under him than versus Biden from his first term to Biden's term. That's just economics. He didn't do anything for that.
Well, I just said, I mean, the economy was a lot better. And the
Based
thing
on
was,
what?
I mean, well, there was a lot of job openings, things like that. The first time around, immigration was dealt with properly. We got rid of a lot of people that didn't need to be here.
He actually got rid of less people in his first term than Biden did.
Well, Biden let a shit ton of people over here.
No, that's not possible.
I don't think
Donald Trump deported less people than Biden did in his administration. Now, let's move to immigration then. How many people did Joe Biden let in, and do you have a stat to prove that?
I don't have my computer in front of me on the top of my head, no.
Well,
I
I'm
just
going
know
to
he
tell
let
you that
a
no.
bunch, he let a bunch of people over here who do not have the right to be here.
Based on
because
what?
They are not us. They are not us. They will never be us. They are not God's chosen people. They were not put in America. They do not deserve to be here.
God chose for the white people to colonize the indigenous land of Turtle Island?
Nothing to do with white people. America is not a race.
I agree.
America is not a race. It is a people, and they are not our people.
What if they become U.S. citizens? Then what?
Huh?
What if they become U.S. citizens? Then what?
That's a difference in opinion. I don't believe in immigration.
You don't believe in it at all?
No, not at all.
What's your ancestry?
What's my ancestry?
Mm-hmm.
My ancestors were colonists. They were conquistadors. They came and took what was theirs.
No, so then you immigrated here and took over is what you did. You don't belong here either, do you?
We came and conquered. We came and took what was ours.
Okay, so if immigrants come here and conquer, they took what's theirs then, right?
Yep.
If you're going to make that argument that you took something that was yours with brute strength, then I'm going to make the argument that they can too. It's not my stance, but I will make that argument. Thank you guys, by the way. We hit 59,000 likes over here on TikTok. I do appreciate that. Keep supporting. Is that him again? No, I'm not talking. If I already spoke to you, I'm not talking to you again. There's a reason I hung up on you. It's because you can't stay on track. Cool. All right. Speaking of immigration, let's get to this. Where was the... White House releases DHS funding offer. The White House on Tuesday released a letter detailing changes it is willing to make to the Department of Homeland Security as it looks to secure a deal with Democrats to end the nearly 5-week-long partial government shutdown. The move is the Trump administration's attempt to show it is making a good faith effort after Democrats derided their proposal as unserious, and comes as staffing issues at the Transportation Security Administration grow more acute, leading to longer wait times at airports across the country. I already talked to you. Go away. The White House, in 5 points, said it was willing to codify a number of policy changes, including an expansion of the use of body cameras for federal immigration agents, the limit of enforcement in certain sensitive locations, including hospitals and schools, which is a crazy thing that you even have to say that you are in hospitals and schools, greater oversight of DHS detention facilities, which, by the way, doesn't matter and is not a change because by law, Congress people are allowed to oversee DHS detention, so this is in nothing. The enforcement of visible officer identification, that should be happening. And the adherence to existing law prohibiting the deportation or detention of U.S. citizens. The fact they even have to say that, adherence to existing law prohibiting the deportation or detention of U.S. citizens because they have been detaining U.S. citizens. And then, thank goodness, Politico actually links the letter in the hyperlink. We love that. It's because, again, this, guys, ready? This secondary source reporting on this primary source, actual letter, okay? So this is to Senator Collins and Senator Britt. They are in charge of the committee. And this is where they lay out, this is their 5 points right here that I just discussed. So let's read it the way that they wrote it instead of just the reporting. The administration will expand the use of body-worn cameras by DHS law enforcement undertaking immigration enforcement operations with an exception for undercover operations. Now that's where you get gray area, right? Them claiming anything is undercover, so then they don't have to use body cameras, which is why the Democrats are like, nah. The administration will increase congressional oversight by requiring retention of body camera video footage and compliance transparency. The administration will limit civil immigration enforcement activities at certain sensitive locations subject to a narrow carve-out for immediate needs like national security, flight risks, and public safety. Sensitive locations include places like hospitals and schools, which is current practice. Yeah, so stop going to schools then. The administration will adhere to current law that affords Congress oversight of DHS detention facilities. So what they're saying is that, again, if you called, don't call again. What they're saying is that they're going to continue to follow the fucking policy that is the policy, but they haven't been following the policy. So they're like, what do you mean? If you're following the policy, you should just be following it. Like, this is nothing. You're not changing anything. You're just going to enforce things, adhere to things, supposedly. The administration will also increase oversight in particular by creating mandatory review and compliance reporting from the Inspector General of DHS. Moreover, this requirement would apply to funds flowing from other federal streams in addition to funding flowing from annual appropriations. The administration will enforce the use of visible officer identification for DHS law enforcement carrying out immigration enforcement activities. Officer identification worn by officers will be clearly displayed. Moreover, the administration will require such officers to clearly verbalize their agency and identification upon request when engaging in official duties, consistent with standard law enforcement practices. Undercover officers would not be subject to these requirements. Again, what is keeping them from saying they're all undercover? The administration will adhere to existing law and practice of not deporting any U.S. citizen and will codify current practice of not knowingly detaining a U.S. citizen except when the person violates a state or federal law that makes the citizen subject to arrest. That's already the law. They just said they're now going to enforce it because they're not enforcing it. Let's see if we got... The proposal, let's see, the White House offer includes some public safety exceptions for the policy changes. For sensitive locations, there's a carve out for, quote, national security, flight risk, and public safety. And undercover officers would not have to display identification. Undercover officers would also not be required to wear body cameras. The proposal also doesn't address two of Democrats' main concerns, requiring officials to obtain a judicial warrant before entering private property and prohibiting federal agents from wearing masks. Administration officials have previously said that warrants are a red line. We're trying to move a little bit, but they've got to get serious. They're not getting serious, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said Tuesday. The key issues of warrants when you burst into someone's house, the key issue of identity, of police, and no masks. They haven't budged on that. And they did not immediately respond to a request for comment on the letter. You don't, and that's the law. The Fourth Amendment says that that's the law. Oh, yeah, that's just the link for the letter. Which, speaking of, I do have... Thought I did, yeah. I do have this clip from today. We haven't gotten to it in Olives. We will get to it, but I have this clip. Blumenthal is saying, are you going to commit to not busting into people's homes without a warrant? And, you know, Mullins doesn't answer that.
If confirmed, will you commit to me and the chair and ranking member of this committee and the American people that ICE will no longer instruct agents to break into people's homes without a judicial warrant?
Sir, you're using the word break into people's houses very loosely. However,
No, that's what they did. Yeah, he is a former prosecutor. That's what they did to the man in Minnesota who is a U.S. citizen. They busted into his home without a judicial warrant and pulled him out in his boxers. So they're asking the person who would now be in charge of DHS since Kristi Noem got fired and hidden into a hole somewhere on some sort of committee, board, whatever. They're now saying, will you commit to making sure that your agents that you would be in charge of do not bust into homes without warrants? I don't know why you guys can't listen to consent. It's weird. At least Tyler stopped. I'll give him that. I told him no more and he stopped. He can yell in the chat and I see him there. But he stopped calling me when I asked him to stop. It's fucking weird, bro. But Stephen Miller also lied about where a majority of our debt is coming from, and he's going to blame it on immigrants. So there's that.
I believe, and I know President Trump believes, that when this theft is exposed, we will see that if all of it were stopped, it would be enough to balance the budget. The extraction of wealth from American taxpayers to people who don't belong here is the primary cause of the national debt, and this is the first ever effort to shut that down. Thank you, Mr. President.
First ever. And they
Prove that. Prove that to me. Show me where that is happening. That a majority of our debt is coming from giving money to illegal immigrants. I would like to see it. He's going to make the claim again, saying that it is the Democrats are funneling hundreds of billions and trillions towards immigrants. Stephen Miller just lies.
But what we found since President Trump came into office is that the Democrats have set up a system to funnel hundreds of billions and ultimately trillions of dollars to migrants that are in our country, oftentimes from places like Somalia. So as an example, ICE recently asked...
No, Brendan. Guess who was in charge of the... or not in charge, excuse... Well, yeah. Who was the ringleader who was charged and convicted in Minnesota? Who was it? Do you know, Brendan? I'm waiting. We'll wait. What was their name? The ringleader of the fraudulent money, by the way, not for daycares. Nope, wasn't Walls, which it's Walls. You spelled Waltz, which is not his name. I'm glad we can read. What was their name? The ringleader of the fraud, and it was actually food money. Thank you, Law. I'm glad that it was the people on my side who know. Her name is Amy Bock. A-I-M-E-E-B-O-C-K. Amy Bock, a white woman, was the ringleader who was in charge of the fraud that they caught in Minnesota. By the way, this was investigated, charged, and convicted before Trump even came along. You guys didn't know about it. They knew about it. You didn't. Stop listening to Nick Shirley, who has openly admitted that he does this for satire, who has openly said that when he went to show the fighting or lack of fighting on the front range of Ukraine, he was on the wrong side of Ukraine, who showed an apartment complex and claimed that they were all fraudulent voters, even though that, because they all had the same address, which actually was P.O. boxes assigned to them by UPS, which was their mailing service used because it was the building underneath their apartment complexes. You guys are not smart. And Nick Shirley has just discovered medical plazas. God knows what's going to happen when Nick Shirley discovers malls. You guys are weird. But again, Stephen Miller here is lying, saying trillions of dollars to immigrants, to illegal immigrants. Not true.
A group of illegal immigrants that were in detention, whether or not they were receiving Medicaid. Half of them raised their hands and volunteered that they were on Medicaid. Just volunteered that. These aren't the ones who were hiding it.
By the way, this is a dumb fuck brother, if you can't see the resemblance. They raised their hand to say they got Medicaid? What? And that proves that they're getting Medicaid? Well, the stats say different.
Right? They also asked illegal aliens how they paid their medical bills, and they said that if they don't have Medicaid, they go to...
Oh, terrible times. They don't care about the PPP loans. They don't care about those at all, do they? Matt Gaetz, ring a bell? Marjorie Taylor Greene, ring a bell? They don't care about those.
Hospitals, they get free care there, and they bill it to the taxpayers. So they aren't paying for any of their own
No,
health care in this country.
that's not true. Prove that.
And we've seen this over and over and over again. So under President Trump's leadership, and then of course with JD and the head of the FTC, Andrew Ferguson, we are going to see the first ever effort in American history to reclaim the ultimately trillions of dollars that were stolen from taxpayers.
Prove it. Again, no proof, just feelings. No, I'm not even emotional, Brendan. I'm asking for proof. You guys just never have it. You guys never have proof that you can give me. Right. Well, that's the thing. They always say that. They say it for me in Colorado too, that when we use our state funds that we choose, because you know states' rights, that we are then getting refunded for those by the federal, and that's not true. 'Cause you can't. So. Just trying to look up procedural vote on the Save America Act. This one's the Save Act, yeah. No. That's the House. I don't think that's the same one. Because it died already once, so they had to redo it. No, maybe that's the one. Actions. Refer to the House committee. There's no way that's the same one. Oh no, that is. Why the fuck? Should be in the Senate now, unless they change it. I just might not have the number. If somebody has the current number, so I can see the actions on the newest vote, that'd be great. JR, I've never said trust me. I've never said trust me, bro. I've never said believe what I say. I say look these things up. That's what I've always asked. You didn't, though. You know that immigrants serve in our military, right? IB, you're just a white supremacist, sweetheart. And I'm so sorry that you're so mediocre and your mushroom is so tiny that you have to put other communities down to feel better about yourself. I'm so sorry that that is the case for you. But, and he said we pled for it. Did you bleed for it? Did you serve? You didn't bleed for shit. Sure didn't. What are we at? 64,000? So we still didn't even hit, we got 2 minutes to hit 75,000. I was like, I have more on the outline, but I don't have time for it. Again, we're going to set off that guy from yesterday, but my kids are homesick for the second day in a row. Their fevers have gone away, which is nice, but they just feel cruddy. Like I can see it in their eyes that they just don't feel good. So, like Ilan, because you spelled her name wrong. Ilan Omar, so glad she's here. What's she done wrong? Do you have proof behind something she's done wrong? James, that's not what I claimed. You guys don't listen. He said, can Hose, because he can't spell, can Hose show me where a Mexican serving in the United States military is granted naturalization as a U.S. citizen? I never claimed that. That's not what I claimed. IB's claim is that they don't deserve to be here because they haven't fought and bled for it. I was saying that immigrants have served. I didn't say it made them citizens. Keep up, Pookie. I'm not a nice person. I'm wrong in all I say. Randy, call in. You guys got a couple minutes. Call in and prove to me with factual information and not your fucking feelings that I'm wrong. Better than what we had. That's not a glowing endorsement, is it? Hi, babe.
Hi.
What's up?
I just had a mess. Is Chicky still here?
I think so. Maybe.
I just want her to know that, like, with RFK in charge of the USDA, produce is safer than ever.
Ugh.
And the little thunderstorm thingies at the store clean your produce for you. You don't have to wash it. That white lady was touching the produce because it's fine.
Go away. She said. Which, oh, by the way, did anybody see the story of what is it? It was fucking cheese. There was fucking cheese because of raw milk. People were getting sick.
Oh, that she's got like E. coli or something like that.
Oh, yeah, there it is. I got it. FDA investigating illnesses linked to raw cheddar cheese from California farm. The FDA said Sunday that Raw Farms raw cheddar cheese has been linked to 7 cases of E. coli infections, a strain of the bacteria that can cause serious kidney problems and lead to hospitalization or death. 4 of the 7 cases are in children, ages 3 or younger. 2 patients have been hospitalized. No cases of kidney failure or deaths have been reported. The cases span September 1st to February 13th and have been detected in California, Florida, and Texas. 3 of the patients interviewed by health officials reported eating Raw Farm brand raw cheddar. The other cases have been linked to the outbreak through genetic sequencing of the bacteria, which suggests that the illness came from the same source. The 2 Raw Farm brand products linked to the outbreak are all sizes of the original block raw cheddar, all sizes of the original shredded raw cheddar. The FDA can mandate food recalls, but generally prefers that companies do so voluntarily. Raw Farm disputed the FDA and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's findings. Quote, we disagree 100% with the allegations made by the FDA and CDC. The company wrote in part in a statement, all our milk is tested prior to making cheese, and our finished cheese is tested prior to release. We have no customer complaints at this time. The California-based company is owned by Mark McAfee, a raw milk advocate and one of the country's leading raw milk producers. In 2024, the company's raw milk was tied to dozens of salmonella cases. NBC News reported last year that McAfee had expected to advise Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on ways to support raw milk, but the plans did not come to fruition. Prior to his appointment as Health Secretary, Kennedy was a vocal proponent of raw milk. The FDA is partnering with state agencies to test the company's 2 raw cheddar products for E. coli. The CDC recommends that people do not eat any of the affected products. Consumers should also wash items and surfaces that have come in contact with the raw cheeses using hot soapy water, the CDC says. JR, why are you guys don't understand. You guys fucking start railing about vaccinations. Nobody's talking about vaccinations right now. That's how brainwashed y'all are. I'm talking about raw milk and cheese. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think that's how you spell vaccines.
Sure not. In February, health officials in New Mexico said a newborn baby died from a listeria infection that likely spread from the baby's mother who drank raw milk while pregnant. And last August, Florida health officials said that 21 people developed Campylobacter and E. coli infections after consuming raw milk. 6 of those infections were in kids under age 10. There's no indication that Raw Farm brand products were linked to those illnesses, but they were different ones. The CDC warns that drinking or eating products made with raw milk can expose people to a variety of germs, including E. coli, listeria, and salmonella. Nom is not allowed on the panel. It was crazy, chicken. I was trying to see. Made claims, but yep. Bunch of pussies. They just want to yell in the chat. So we're turning the phone line off since y'all are a bunch of little bitches. Because I was going to eat something here soon. Nom's back. Maybe.
Oh.
Nope. Nom, are you there?
No, are you there?
Good morning, Vietnam!
You keep turning off my mic.
Oh, I can't see that on here. Oh.
Chicky.
I'll just call the phone line.
I turned it off.
You can't stop me, Chicky.
You shouldn't have told him that.
I'm scared of milk. No, my kids and I drink whole milk every day.
No, we just come drink it straight from the fucking udder like you cuck.
I've never not been cheated on. Hey, babe, are you cheating on me right now?
No. I don't have time for that.
No, here's what we've had this
for one. You think I have the energy for two?
Right. But what I have said is if you are cheating on me this entire time, I'm going to be pissed. Because if it was open season, I could have been getting dicked the fuck down. And I'll be mad. Because I could have got mine too, damn.
But yeah, anyways, I was just trying to spread misinformation about the produce so that maybe they would stop washing their produce and they would die. But
go away. Go away. Go the fuck away. I'm just saying, if we're going to be in an open marriage, we have to communicate that. That's all I'm saying. So to sit here and say I'm being cheated on, at least let me have the courtesy of being able to do it too. What a thing to say. Now they're mad. Oh no. How dare she say? Real men find time for the things they need to. Like cheating? Are you okay?
Republican men always cheat. They typically cheat on people who are above the age of 18 because that's how they get their mistresses.
That's true. They're on some. They're not okay. What was I gonna mess?
My guy best friend is cheating on me. Well, that sounds like you need a new friend.
Wild.
So do not talk about my husband like that.
Oh my god. You guys are funny.
Randy got called out. We do not cheat. You people are clueless. The call's coming from inside the house, Randy.
Nobody was accusing you, Randy. I didn't. Did I say Republic? I didn't say Republicans.
No, just leave it. Just
Okay.
leave it.
I mean, I'm just saying I didn't say that Republicans cheat. No, that didn't come out of my mouth. I didn't say that. Wild. There's a reason he cheating. Okay.
Cheaters are not real women. What?
I'm just having fun with the comments on YouTube now.
Godless Democrats are so angry.
I love the Lord. I love the Lord.
We angry.
I love them. What missing ballots, JR? No, we're not missing ballots.
Ignitus, I think you need to go to therapy.
Yeah, I'm sorry that's happening to you, but, you know. Yeah, Canadians, I'm sorry about that. By the way, thank you, Justin. I love your fucking mod announcements over there.
So cute.
I love them so much. They do disagree with God. You disagree with God? They don't rate it.
Incite that erection.
Barrett's yelling Monsanto. Yeah,
Monsanto!
Did you know that although RFK Jr. fought against Monsanto and won for their use of glyphosate, that the Trump administration just recently, within this last month, actually is removing the restrictions on the use of glyphosate in food. So congratulations, we're going to have more glyphosate being used in food. Thanks, Trump.
Outfield said very classy. Easy erasing the unborn like trash. What?
What? We did.
Huh?
I think I have a video of that, of us playing Repo, where we got the baby. And we were proving our pro-choice stance with the baby.
Yes. Horace Manny says, drop that fucker.
Break yourself, fool. Oh my gosh. On that note, are you gonna go stream the rest of that?
Yeah, I still have $25 left, guys. Who wants to buy me lunch?
That part. Well, I will be there then. Do you like the setup?
I do. I think it's really cute.
I
like it a
like the
lot.
picture frame.
I do too.
So I
Honestly,
can scare people when I come out of it.
hello. I think what you could do is maybe look into. I don't know how sick Jasmani Sis is, but have her draw something similar to that, and maybe you can use that as well, or maybe have Jasmani Bra do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask if she wants to, depending on how she's feeling, but I'm gonna ask if she wants to do the little cute olive with a face and pretzel with a face, so I can use that too instead of this guy. Would like to do that.
Well, we can also start doing stickers too.
Yeah, exactly. And we can start actually doing stickers once we get those drawn by baby girl, and she will have to get a percent of the profits.
Absolutely,
We pay for labor in this bitch.
The most money a 10-year-old will ever make.
True.
Support
small
business owners.
So I'm gonna kick work wife so she can go set up. I love you.
I love you. I see you in a minute.
See you soon. And we are gonna get ready to go. Let me make sure I get all my thank yous out before we do though, because I don't like missing my thank yous. Thank you, Marina. Thank you, Juicy Juice Godfrey. Thank you, Nemesis, and thank you, Chicky, and thank you, Hector. Thank you guys so much for your support today. I do truly, truly appreciate it. It means everything, so that I can work on paying my fucking Excel bill. That would be lovely. So yeah, we're gonna go raid Olive. Make sure you guys are supporting Olive. She has 25 left in her goal, so even though she is streaming a confirmation hearing of Mullins, make sure that you guys are supporting her. If there's 25 of you in there and you send $1, that will complete the dollar train. We can get this done, right? We can do it. We can support her, and we can make sure we get that goal completed. Make sure you're getting all the little gift goals to help push her out. Tap that screen and like it. She also has a like bar, so make sure we get to that. Yeah, just keep doing all the good things. I will be back tomorrow. 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that may be, Sparky. Maybe is crazy. I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you, Thursday. And we will get more into, I'm going to have more clips for Mullins. So even though we're going to Olives to watch, I will have more clips for Mullins. Discord, why are you yelling at me? That's crazy. But we'll have more clips from Mark Wayne, Babyback Mitch McMullins. We will get into some clips. That's what I'm going to do, is look into clips for Tulsi Gabbard, because she's having her hearing today as well. And we will just keep going with our outline and constantly keep going with what this bullshit is, and the fact that people cannot defend it, and that was proven today. They have conspiracy theories, or they have like, you tell me why I shouldn't support him. That's all they've got left. But I love you all so very much. Take care of yourselves. Spend time with friends and family. Drink some water. Do something fun for yourself. It's going to be fucking warm in Colorado today. Jesus Christ. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Go raid Olive. Do a Monty raid in Olives. I love you all so much. Bye.